Hey everybody, I'm Lauren Lake and welcome to my new YouTube series, The Living Room. As promised, we are going to start having conversations that I believe we need to learn to have in the living room so we don't have to have them in the courtroom. I've served as judge of paternity court for 6 seasons now, heading into 7, and believe me, I have watched many families come into my courtroom, and I'm often thinking to myself, now they waited all this time to come into this courtroom to have this conversation? You needed to have that conversation in the living room. And so, you ask me, why do I call this series The Living Room? Number one, because it's in my living room. I am sitting in my very own living room. Number two, when I was growing up in the 1970s, we used to keep plastic on the furniture in the living room. The living room was a place where nobody was supposed to go. As a matter of fact, if I'm being very honest, I'm even guilty of it in my own life, sometimes telling CJ, don't you bring that in my living room. However, as I thought about it, I said to myself, the living room is exactly where we do need to be. We need to understand that this is no dress rehearsal, honey. You have one life to live, and we can go our whole lives with the plastic on our furniture, and we can never step foot in our living rooms, and we can leave this earth without fully experience the level of life that we're capable of experiencing, because we always have it on hold. We always saving it for a rainy day. There's always another opportunity. We're gonna procrastinate ourselves out of potential. So that's what the living room is about. I'm gonna be sitting in my own living room, and I hope to encourage you to sit in your own living room, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about accessing and channeling the limitless possibilities for our lives, because we got to live this thing, y'all. There's only one shot at this. So now, moving on. As we think about our lives, I often have to do self-checks, and this is the first thing I want to encourage you to do in this first episode of The Living Room. I want you to sit down and do an evaluation of self, because it doesn't matter what you think about anybody else, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. If you don't have a strong sense of self, who you are, where you are in life, that's going to lead you to trouble. That's going to lead you to limited thinking that is not going to serve us in this life. I constantly ask myself, when I look in the mirror in the morning, why be ordinary when extraordinary is an option? Every single day, we have the option to be extraordinary. We have the option to defy the odds. We have the option to look at something with a new perspective. We have the opportunity to grow ourselves. So in this series, I hope you will come along with me as I grow, and I hope you will just take the opportunity to grow along with me. I often talk about the 3 L words when it comes to life. Are you limited? Are you in limbo? Or are you feeling limitless about a certain situation? Now, I'm talking about relationships, life in general, your education. How do you feel about your home life? How do you feel about your spiritual life? Are you feeling limited, in limbo, or are you feeling limitless? All of us have limiting thoughts. Every day we wake up, and it's important that we turn our minds to the limitless channel. Limiting thoughts are the thoughts and the things that we place upon ourselves. They're the things that other people place upon us, whether it's you're too tall, too short, too black, not black enough, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough education, oh, we don't believe you can do it, I shouldn't have eaten that, oh my God. All of those thoughts are limiting, and we all do them. The key is figuring out how to go from limited to limitless. And so this is what we're going to study in this series. And as I said, I hope you will come along with me. But we are going to start there with the 3 L's. Are you feeling limited? Are you feeling in limbo? Or are you feeling limitless? Ask yourself that when it comes to your health, your financial awareness, your education, your job or profession, your approach to life. Where are you? You will not be able to move from the place where you are until you decide to own that and say to yourself, I want more. So I want you to go to my website and download the Limitless Living Ledger. When you sign up for my mailing list, you will be able to download that. And it will give you a checklist, and you're going to be able to think about various areas of your life and determine whether you truly feel limited, in limbo, or limitless. When you're feeling limited, you're feeling like you can't do it. You're feeling stagnant. You are stuck. You are in a rut. All of us have been there. When you're in limbo, you are in the process, but you haven't really figured out what you need to do to really level up. And when you are feeling limitless about something, or when you're in that limitless place, you know then that there are limitless possibilities, that whether you win or lose on a certain day does not truly determine your destiny, that we are all here in every single moment of this life, living it out in real time, and the way that we perceive and the way that we approach and the way that we think in our minds affects how we do every single thing. In my courtroom, I often see young women and men before me talking about their lives, and I always ask them, what do you want for your life? And you'd be surprised how many people really don't have an answer for that question. And that's when I say, you're either feeling limited or you are in limbo. You have got to make some decisions. A limitless life requires a decision. I don't care if you had a baby and you had a paternity issue. That still doesn't change the limitless possibilities for your life. You didn't finish college. Still doesn't change the limitless possibilities for your life. You've been divorced. Still doesn't change it. You've betrayed someone or you've been betrayed. Still doesn't change the limitless possibilities for your life. You are not who you thought you would be. Still doesn't change the limitless possibilities for your life. The only thing standing in your way from living your limitless life is you. And so let's start there. Let's start with ourselves. I'll tell you what, I'm even going to print my checklist and I'm going to do it myself. And then in part 2 of the living room, I am going to share with you where I am in my life in hopes that it can inspire you. And we're going to figure out how we can talk together as well. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I had to really think about this process and how I wanted to approach it. I had all of these ideas. I wanted one camera here. I wanted one person to do this. I wanted to be able to have a guest on with me. And I probably will end up doing all of those things at some point. But I had to check myself and say, Lauren, now this is limited thinking. Can you just start? You told the people you were going to do the living room, and now you got 400 ideas, and since they didn't all come to pass, you're not making a move. You're not practicing what you preach. So what I decided to do was set this little camera up myself, honey, while I had the house alone and CJ and everybody wasn't here. And I said, let me do this segment because it's important to me to honor my commitment and what I said we were going to do together. So what we're going to do is go to the website, sign up for my mailing list, download the Limitless Living Ledger, do the checklist, and I am going to do the same. And we're going to meet right back here in the living room, and we're going to go over what we really feel about our lives and where we are right now. And more importantly, we're going to start the process of growing our lives so that we can access those limitless possibilities that are there for all of us. I've enjoyed talking with you today, and I will see you soon. La, 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 la.